Welcome to The Priority Shift, a podcast dedicated to focusing on your true priorities, both personal and professional, using the 80-20 method. I'm your host, Christina Walker. Let's dive in. Episode 12, Christmas Market and Managing the Chaos. Today is the last day of my mini-series on using the 80-20 method on creating a Christmas market and how all the same ideas and principles continue to show up. The first year we had the Christmas market, we had a lot of friends that shared ideas on what they would love to see at a market and things that we could do and how we could go about marketing things. They were some really great ideas in the mix, but we had to also stay focused on a few key things that would make a difference versus taking all the ideas and trying to do everything. Examples that showed up were that we could purchase spaces on billboards, advertise on the radio, pay for Facebook's ad spaces, or print flyers, etc. All of these items came with a cost, and since the goal of our market as organizers was to actually make an income, we had to weigh out what actually made sense for us to be successful. I came up with the idea to make postcards of the event that our vendors could use to share with their customers to invite them to the market. These were a cheap solution, and since I ordered thousands of them and shared them with my vendors, that they could have as many as they wanted, and they gave them out freely to their customers. This was a cost-effective solution that allowed the advertising to go directly to the end customers that we were targeting, mainly the same types of customers that usually come to markets. This year we added gift baskets that people could enter into the raffle for just showing up. About an hour into the market, I could see the economy slowing and that people just weren't shopping as much. I pivoted the idea that vendors could use the leftover invite cards to give to their customers that purchased as an extra incentive to buy. This was a win-win for all parties involved because customers were able to receive extra entries and were incentivized to purchase. On Saturday, we saw a larger uptick across the board for all of our vendors on items purchased. On the corporate side, I have seen so many teams and people get stuck on trying to figure everything out and wanting to have a step-by-step plan and playbook before they can begin a project. I understand in some cases you need to have it, but in my experience, you need to just understand your true end goal and start moving once you hit 80% of the way there. Otherwise, you get stuck in an endless loop trying to figure out where to start. When I started the Christmas market as an organizer, I didn't have all the answers or even a book on how to do it. I just knew what was important to me as an organizer and what I wanted it to look like. I had a goal in mind of the amount of vendors we needed to break even and how I wanted to show up as a coordinator. We exceeded all the goals we set for ourselves both years because of the clear vision and being able to say no to things that did not meet that vision. Example of things that we said no to in the first year included having live music or a band playing. The space is too large and there was not a good way for us to do it with the acoustics and make sure that the sound was throughout the event. Saying yes to vendors that did not fit our market style, and overspending on things or items that were not worth it from a marketing standpoint. The things that made a difference for people to join us as vendors or even for customers to come was free parking and entrance fee, easy loading and unloading for our vendors plus their own parking lot, and my quick response time to vendors with questions. When you can be clear on your goals and what the 80s are that drive your projects and teams forward, it helps you have a clear vision and clear out the noise and say no to the 20s. I hope you have enjoyed this mini-series and I learned a few tips on how to keep applying 80-20 in a practical day-to-day lessons. Also this past week, we were able to deliver our Kohl's Cares plush and book to the 26 first graders. They were so excited to receive their presents and also excited to start reading their book. We are so appreciative to our sponsors that helped to make this happen, and we will be continuing on this tradition for years to come. Thanks for listening, and make sure to leave us a 5-star review on your favorite listening platform, and share this with a friend, colleague, or manager. Find more info at PriorityShiftSolutions.com and reach out to Christina directly to get started with coaching and applying the 80-20 method.